Clark turned Teresa Weatherspoon unhinged after she lifted her team up and delivered an MVP-level performance in the second half of this season. Remember, they all were comparing Clark with Angel Reese for Rookie of the Year. That debate has also faded in the noise of Clark's extraordinary playmaking.
Against the Fever, the Wings, how are you going to use this as a measuring stick to assess whether or not maybe some changes need to happen?
She was Angel Reese and Chicago Sky's coach Weatherspoon, who literally turned mad when a journalist asked her this question about Fever and escaped the conference room. Like many other coaches, she also totally underestimated Clark and Fever. And now, when they showed their complete dominance on Teresa's team, she just went nuts because Clark and her team's success is what they can't digest. So now, let's have a look at what the hell is that makes senior coaches like Teresa lose their minds. Clark is lighting up the WNBA, and she's got the Indiana Fever scorching right along with her. Not too long ago, the Fever were massive underdogs with a 100-1 shot at the championship. But now, their odds have plummeted to 19-1, catching everyone's attention, especially in the betting world. Clark, teaming up with Aaliyah Boston, has sparked an incredible surge for the Fever, clinching 6 wins out of their last 7 games. Thanks to this blazing performance, Indiana now holds the 6th best odds in the WNBA, according to FanDuel, positioning them as a serious contender as the playoffs approach. Now, here's where things get really interesting and juicy. BetMGM is feeling the heat because the Fever have turned into a huge liability. Over the season, they've pulled in a whopping 50.9% of the total handle, meaning a serious amount of cash is banking on Clark and her squad to go all the way. And it's not just your average fans jumping on the Clark bandwagon. The high rollers are in on it too. A hefty 38.9% of all tickets in the market are betting on Indiana to take the crown. When the handle outpaces the ticket percentages, you know the big spenders are in play. Just look at Dave Portnoy, founder of Barstool Sports. He's laid down a whopping $100,000 on the Fever to take the championship. If Clark and Boston make it happen, DraftKings is staring down a staggering $10 million payout. That's some serious high-stakes action. Despite their recent hot streak, the Fever didn't make any major moves at the trade deadline, a choice that left some scratching their heads considering their playoff ambitions. Still, they've muscled their way into the postseason conversation with a 17-16 record. An incredible turnaround after starting the season at a miserable 1-8. As the WNBA playoffs kick off on October 20th, all eyes are on Clark and the Fever. Can they keep this momentum rolling and pull off one of the greatest comebacks in WNBA history? Most probably yes, because the way Clark has gained momentum is a big sign that history is making. Because it's official now, the Indiana Fever's playoff drought is over after 7 long seasons. The Fever secured their spot in the playoffs when Chicago lost to Las Vegas and Atlanta fell to Phoenix late Tuesday night. Even if Indiana loses all 7 of its remaining games, they're still playoff-bound. This marks the first time since 2016 that the Fever have clinched a playoff spot, ending what was the longest active postseason drought in the WNBA and tying the record for the longest drought in league history. The Chicago Sky also missed the playoffs for 7 straight seasons from 2006 to 2013.
Both of our teams are competing for playoff spots. Like, that's our main focus. That's a selfish thing to just...
Clinching a playoff spot with 7 games left is a dramatic shift for Indiana, a team that in past seasons was often eliminated from contention with this many, or even more, games still to play. Last year, they came close but were knocked out of the playoff race with 5 games remaining. This marks Indiana's first playoff appearance since the retirement of Tamika Catchings, the franchise's cornerstone player from 2002 to 2016. It's only fitting that this milestone comes in the same season where the Fever may have found their new franchise star in rookie Clark. Clark, who was drafted first overall by the Fever in April after earning back-to-back National Player of the Year honors, joined forces with 2023's number 1 pick Aaliyah Boston, 2022's number, 2 pick Nalissa Smith, and 2018's number 1, 2 pick Kelsey Mitchell. With a roster this loaded, expectations were high, but the team faced some early struggles typical of a young squad adapting to a new point guard. The tough schedule didn't do them any favors either, as Indiana kicked off the season with 11 games in just 19 days, leading to a rocky 2-9 start. The Fever have gone 15-7 since that opening stretch and have tallied at least one win over 10 of their 11 league opponents, including the New York Liberty, Connecticut Sun, and Minnesota Lynx. The only team the Fever have not beaten yet this season is the Las Vegas Aces. They come to Indianapolis for a back-to-back on September 11 and 13. Clark has been putting up unprecedented numbers for her rookie season, averaging 18.7 points, 8.4 assists, and 5.9 rebounds per game. She tallied the first rookie triple-double in WNBA history earlier this season and currently leads the league in assists per game. She has already broken the rookie assist record, and she is on track to beat the single-season assist record that was set just last season by the Connecticut Sun's Alyssa Thomas. Clark stands out for her rare combination of playmaking and scoring abilities. Averaging 18.7 points per game, she's second on the Fever, just behind Kelsey Mitchell, and ranks 9th in the entire league. Clark also made history with the most single-season double-doubles by a guard in WNBA history, each one featuring points and assists. Meanwhile, Mitchell, now in her 7th season, is enjoying some of the best basketball of her career. She's currently on a streak of 7 consecutive games, scoring 20-plus points, shattering a Fever franchise record. Her lightning-fast speed on the court pairs perfectly with Clark's intricate passes, forming a backcourt duo that's proving to be nearly unstoppable. Kelsey Mitchell has truly become the perfect backcourt partner for Caitlinclark, and together, these two guards have spearheaded the Indiana Fever's impressive comeback since the Olympic break. Thanks to their dynamic duo, Indiana has locked in a playoff spot. The team has snagged 6 out of their last 7 games, boasting a record above .500 for the first time since June 13, 2019. With Sunday's win over Dallas, the Fever improved to 17-16, breaking a WNBA record streak of 189 consecutive games without a winning record, according to the Elias Sports Bureau. Mitchell stands out as one of the few remaining players from the Fever's lean years. Since joining the team in 2018, she hadn't won more than 13 games in any season, until now. Reflecting on the team's turnaround, Mitchell shared, "I know what the bottom feels like, and I don't want to be there no more." With Mitchell's stellar performance and Clark's unmatched playmaking, the Fever are not just ending their playoff drought, they're setting the stage for a thrilling postseason run. Can this dynamic duo carry Indiana all the way? Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure. The Fever are back and hotter than ever. Since the nearly month-long break for the Paris games, Kelsey Mitchell has been on fire, scoring more than 20 points in all 7 games. She's been averaging an impressive 28.3 points during this stretch, making her the second highest scorer in the league, just behind Aja Wilson. Overall, this season has been Mitchell's best yet in terms of scoring, with her averaging 19 points per game. Last season, she was Indiana's top scorer, averaging 18.2 points per game. Reflecting on the team's success, Mitchell shared, "I think that me and Caitlin, as well as our group, I think we just found a way." Mitchell and Clark's high-octane play has not only fueled the Fever's playoff push, but also earned them recognition as one of the league's top teams. As the regular season winds down, all eyes will be on how far this electrifying duo can take Indiana in the postseason. In this week's WNBA Power Poll, New York continues to hold the top spot, with the first 4 teams remaining unchanged. Minnesota, Connecticut, and Las Vegas follow closely behind. Indiana has climbed to 5th, with Seattle in 6th. Phoenix, Atlanta, and Dallas come next, while Chicago has dropped to 10th. Washington and Los Angeles round out the poll. Share your thoughts on what you think about Caitlinclark and Indiana Fever's rise in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe for the latest updates on Clark and her brilliance. See you in the next video.